What is up, flies, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are doing some online racing on the PC. If you saw my video yesterday, this is basically the warm-up, for lack of a better word, for the challenge video that I did yesterday. It was the minimum fuel challenge, essentially trying to put in the least amount of fuel in the car, trying to get to the end, seeing if I could get a good result. It was a different kind of video, one which I'll be trying again in the future, but this lobby in particular was just basically warm up for that, just trying to get used to the game again, and what turned out to be a pretty good couple of races, so I'm going to upload those to the channel right here. So first off, we are at the Bahrain Grand Prix, 5 red lights, and away we go. 12th place on the grid, PC open lobby. What could possibly go wrong? I have found that PC racing has been a little bit more stable in the past, so we should hopefully get some better racing, hopefully. Turn 1, pretty good. Got through there nice and cleanly. The Mercedes and the Red Bull were going pretty slowly. Now we're taking to outside the white lines to try and make a move, stick on the Force India. That's us up in a P5, and the Force India does not take kindly to me gaining a position off the circuit. So what do? We go and regain the position off the circuit again. That curb not favoring to us quite too well there, and we lose all the places that we made up on the first lap, unfortunately. And the Force India once again storming up the inside and pretty much sending us off circuit. So it's down to P8 once again. We've got it all to do. I think I started P12, didn't I? So not all has been lost, but in saying that, we don't exactly have the momentum on our side once again. Side by side with the Red Bull as we head into the third sector now. Leave him space on the outside, and that might be job done, is it? No, he's still hanging it in there quite well, and he's going to take back the position and spin out in the process. Okay. I'll take that. Lap 3. You can see our teammate is rolling onto the back of us here. Ozone Julian. I think this guy used to race me on Xbox. I'm not entirely sure. Judging by the comments of yesterday's video, this is all the exact same people. So shout out to you guys if you were in the lobby and actually keeping it clean. This was probably the cleanest open lobby I've had in the longest time. Definitely going to have to stick to more PC racing, I suppose. We're running side by side here with our teammate. He's really putting us under pressure here in this Bahrain Grand Prix. I ran in a little bit too deep there, maybe being a little bit too gentlemanly, leaving him too much space, maybe thinking he was going to go back up the inside, but we throw the gentlemanly behavior out the window as we give him the big squeeze on the run into turn 1. He takes the place back, but with the level of slipstream with the DRS and me just getting used to the game again, I do not want to let this guy go again, and we want to have another go at him if we can. Just like Lewis Hamilton going around the outside into turn 4. Not executed quite as well though, and we stay behind Julian for the moment. So this was my first, race of the day. This is my first race on F1 in a very long time. That curbing is not favoring to be too polite to my car today, it seems. That was very violent. I am running with an older setup. Maybe the suspension was too stiff, or maybe that curb has always just been a bit of a bitch, to be honest. But it's doesn't matter. We didn't get back in front of our teammate. Julian just about had the pace on me, and that was that battle. 7th and 8th for the McLarens. No penalties to be had for us, and a pretty good race to open the account for this online lobby. We now move on to China, which is the 1000th Grand Prix ever to be hosted in the history of Formula 1 this year in 2019. Should be a pretty good show. So I thought, why not? We've had Bahrain, we'll now have China, and we'll see what we can make of this race. For this one in particular, I didn't have a setup, so I wasn't really sure what to do in terms of the aero. I think we're running pretty high on ballast as well. 9 ballast? Yes, I am right with that. But 1.5 wings. I just fear that I haven't put enough downforce on the car, and we might be struggling towards the back end of this race. But we've gone aggressive. We may as well. It's only a 5-lap race on the line. Away we go. It looks like that Haas went absolutely nowhere off the line. Free position for us into P9. That Williams goes storming up the inside. The other sister Williams goes completely wide at turn 1, and that's a free position for us. Still side by side with the Williams. Thankfully, he hasn't clouted into the side of us, and we can take his position. So, for the most part, this lobby was really, really clean. And I don't know if it was just a one-off thanks to all these guys being really clean, or whether this is just the way that people conduct themselves on PC. Either way, I endorse this behavior, and if we can have more races like this, then hell, I'll probably upload a hell of a lot more online videos in the future. But yeah, we're running in P7. Next up is the Sauber of, I don't even know what that name is, Evans, with 2 boxes either side of his name. He storms up the inside of the Renault, and now we're going to see if we can pass him as well up the inside. He goes for a big boy lunge into the 3rd sector, getting back the Sauber, and unfortunately he gets shoved wide. I take the free position, and that will be P6 for me. It's always so OP to take the inside line there at the long, snaky exit onto the back straight here at China. It's always going to come out on top every time. Speaking of coming out on top, that is P5 for us, with our very aggressive 1.5 wings. We're going to get dive bombed here at the hairpin, aren't we? Yes, we get dive bombed by the Sauber and the Renault. There's a Force India rejoining on the circuit, and my goodness, that is probably the most dirty thing that I've seen today in this set of open lobbies. And, well, if that's the worst driving we're going to see, then, well, I can count my lucky stars, I suppose. Trying to go around the outside of the Sauber now into turn 1. That's never going to work. Inside line is always king at China through a lot of these corners. And yeah, we have to bide our time once again. Next up is Evans. My phone is going off. Very, very professional. Oh, Sevi is making my thumbnail. Thank you very much, Sevi. Check him out if you haven't already on Twitter. His link is in my bio. He didn't ask for a shout out, but he's getting one. Honestly, one of the best thumbnail makers in the game, it must be said. But anyway, we make a move on Evans. Finally, we're now into P5, and we can set after some of the front runners. Photon. That's Veloce Photon, by the way, from the Veloce Squad Sprint. I think he's a PC Split 1 driver in AOR. So he's absolutely no slouch. And I was quite genuinely shocked to be, A, close to him on pace in the Veloce Squad Sprint, and B, close to him on pace in this lobby, given that I'm very, very rusty with F1 these days. I really need to get back into the swing of things, because every time I get back on this game, I feel like I'm learning how to drive again. It's a joke, but I'll get used to that in time. We've got Evans going back up the inside of us here on the back straight, turning into quite the sweaty battle, it seems, for P5. This looks like it's going to be one for keeps. He goes in very deep into the final corner. We do the under and over on him, and we get him back on the start-finish straight. We're touching tyres now on the run across the start-finish straight. And man, this is an awesome battle. Leave a like if you're enjoying. Subscribe to the channel if you need to see plenty more racing game content. This battle is not over, though. I run wide at turn 1. He has the inside for turn 2. And now it's going to be a side-by-side affair as we snake our way through this first sector. He has the outside. Better momentum. Boy, this is a good battle. Let's see if we can hold around the outside. I want to have better traction. I could have gone for the inside there, but I didn't want to take that line, to be honest. I just wanted to sit in behind and save a little bit more fuel so I could push, and maybe a little bit more battery, and have one final attack on the back straight. But it's been coming for a little while. My tires were dying, and I forgot to mention this on the last lap. We were really, really struggling through the middle sector of last lap, and this lap it just got even worse, and we were left with nothing really to fight with. I didn't stay with him enough on that back straight, and I lost any opportunity I had to get back at him there on that last lap. So the aggressiveness of the wings, high ballast, and me not being fluent with this game has cost me a top 5 there, unfortunately. But it was a pretty good race nonetheless. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, like I said earlier, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. Fastest lap wise, 7/8 off what some people were doing in that lobby, which is not surprising considering didn't really have a setup, and I'm still not in the rhythm of this game again. I need to get my butt into gear. F1 Esports is coming up. I need to be on top of my game if I want to have any chance of being competitive in, well, just trying to qualify, to be honest. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed nonetheless. Career mode will be back very, very soon. I'm going to record another episode of that later today, and hopefully get that out for you guys as soon as possible. But that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to everyone in the lobby for turning up. Follow me on Twitter to get involved in online lobbies like this one. And until the next one, I'll see you next time.